What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Touchdowns to Home Runs. My name's Bernie, and honestly, I'm not going to do a huge formal intro for this video like I normally would on the channel, because to be honest, I just want to get straight into my thoughts and opinions on the Blue Jays not making the playoffs, sort of how this whole AL wildcard played out, particularly the games today between the Red Sox and Nationals, and then the Rays and the Yankees. And then I'll also just sort of give a brief overview and my opinion on the 2021 season as a whole. Just before we do get into the video, though, just keep in mind I'm doing this video without a script, purely based on my opinion and my emotions, but I'm sure a lot of Blue Jays fans out there will agree with me, and I'm trying not to get emotional. So yeah, just please bear with me. The first thing that I do want to say is that obviously it's an extremely tough end to the season. There's no way around it. But from the bottom of my heart, I am truly thankful and proud for everything that the Blue Jays did this season. About a month ago, after the All-Star break, it looked like the Blue Jays were out for sure. But when they came back to Toronto and started playing their home games again at the Rogers Center, I think the crowd really helped them push the Blue Jays back into the playoff race, and it was such a fun end to the season. I think the tough part about this season, that it's going to be a season of the what-ifs. What if George Springer had played the whole season and stayed healthy? What if the Blue Jays had played all 81 of their home games at the Rogers Center? What if we had won that series finale against New York? And this would be a completely different video here, and we'd either be in the wild card or playing a tie-break game. That's not even talking about the games that we saw today, which we'll get to in just a second. But honestly, again, I'm super proud of the developments that this team took. And I'm honestly so proud to be a Blue Jays fan. So congratulations to the Blue Jays organization on a tremendous season, which it really was. Didn't end the way that we wanted to, but we'll be back next year in 2022. And we're going to win the division, mark my words. In terms of the games today, obviously it was tough because in a way, we almost made it. We only needed a loss from either the Red Sox or the Yankees. And we'll start with the Yankees game because I think that's the one that you would call a bit more controversial. Obviously, in the ninth inning, Judge comes up to the plate first and third with the outfield in, and they decide not to intentionally walk Aaron Judge. He ends up hitting the walk-off single. I get the fact that the Rays didn't really care about the game. Do I think that the Rays should have rather wanted to play Toronto than the Yankees? Yes, I do. So to, help them in that way and potentially knock out the Yankees through a tiebreak, I think would have made a lot more sense. Purely from a baseball standpoint, that's a position that you intentionally walk a guy. Not only because you want to avoid a guy like Aaron Judge, but you need to set up the double play in order to keep the game alive in particular. They end up losing that one, and then the heads obviously turned to the Red Sox. Blue Jays fans for about a half-hour period became the biggest Nationals fans in the world. And then Devers, of course, hits the home run in the ninth inning after the Nationals had choked a 5-1 lead, which makes it a lot tougher because the Blue Jays should have made it on that regard with a Nationals win. But, it is what it is. Again, congratulations to the Yankees and Red Sox. This is a division that had 4 teams that, in my opinion, really should have been playoff teams. The Yankees and Red Sox had phenomenal seasons. They have phenomenal teams. And deserve to make it, and can definitely, either of those teams can give the Rays a run for their money in this upcoming wildcard game, whoever ends up making it. In terms of the Blue Jays season as a whole, again, I touched on it before. I'm beyond proud of what this team accomplished this year. I truly am. You look at not only the home game and all that stuff that I mentioned, but you look at what everybody did from an individual standpoint. You're talking about a guy in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. who ends the season with 48 home runs, with a 400 OBP, with an average above 310. He's going to finish second in the AL MVP voting, and tied for the MLB lead with the 48 home runs again. This Blue Jays lineup was super deep. Vladdy was obviously one of the players who's not only a fan favorite, but one of the guys that we needed to take a step forward this year, and he definitely did. But you go down the list, you look at Bichette, Teoscar Hernandez, who played absolutely phenomenal this season. 29 home runs from Bichette, 32 home runs for Teoscar Hernandez. That 29 home runs from Bichette set a franchise record for most home runs from a shortstop. Obviously, one of the biggest offseason moves that we made in Marcus Semien set the record for most home runs by a second baseman. He was well above 40, had a decent OBP, looked like a Marcus Semien that we saw in 2019 when he was one of the best players in the American League, and he did it again. Obviously, George Springer, I wish he could have played more time this year. Missed a lot of time, but again, just a phenomenal year from all these guys. And it was a fun team to watch, and thinking back, just the incorporation of the home run jacket and the fact that we're not going to see these young guys yet in the playoffs is really disappointing. But, we will see them soon. We will see them next year, in my opinion. But we'll just have to wait another year to do it. In terms of the pitching, we were okay. Robbie Ray, another one of our additions from last year, potential Cy Young this year. He's going to finish at least top 3. We saw a great rookie season from Alex Manoah, phenomenal. Barrios, the addition for him, we'll see him back next year, being lights out since him and Pete Walker started working together. Being lights out since the All-Star break. Ryu didn't have a great year, and of course the downside was the bullpen. A lot of blown saves, a lot of blown games in general, especially late in ball games that, looking in hindsight, is, probably the killer. But the Blue Jays, honestly, we just got to start looking towards the offseason now. We got some big moves that we got to make. One of them is do you retain or bring back Charlie Montoyo? I know that's going to be a very controversial topic. I know that another one is going to be about the re-signings of both Robbie Ray and Marcus Semien, whose contracts expire this year. But some other, decently big decisions as well. Dickerson started hitting well at the end of the season. You got Steven Matz, who's going to be a free agent too, and you need to probably make some additions at third base. Got to figure out what you're doing there. Got to add a couple of pieces in the bullpen and probably a couple in the rotation as well. All said and done, again, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it was a good year. There's a lot of positives that I think as Blue Jays fans and as the Blue Jays organization that we can take out of this. Again, it sucks that we didn't make the playoffs, but this team, in my opinion, is more exciting than what we saw in 2016, and I think there's something to it that we made this team. We developed a lot of these guys in our farm system. In 2015-16 were phenomenal years. But we always knew that those were going to be sort of 1 or 2 years off, and then we were going to be in a rebuilding stage. But this is a team that honestly should be in contention for years to come, starting in 2022. And if anything, you take this as a learning experience. You move into the offseason with more experience going into next year. And I think this team will be better, and we will be back. If you guys did make it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, anything that you want to say about this video, about the Blue Jays, down in the comment section below. For more Blue Jays content in the offseason, though, we're going to be covering the Blue Jays a ton, and it's going to be a busy offseason. So make sure to drop a like. Let me know that you like this Blue Jays content, and subscribe to Touchdowns to Home Runs for more content just like this. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys again next time.